Hey guys, I'm Emily,
I'm Jasmine.
And this is Katie.
and welcome to the part 2 of this podcast. And if you haven't watched part 1, you should, because that was very fun. Okay, do you want to start us off?
Okay, I guess I'll start then. So to start off the conversation, I guess we're gonna ask that question that we all are wondering. Is Pip too deep? Like, is she too deep into this investigation or capstone project? Is she too deep for it to be East Coast project? You know.
Personally, she's very invested in this case.
Yeah.
But it's like her passion too. Like, she wants to get to the bottom of this. She wants to clear Sal's name for Ravi and his whole family to get like some closure about it, because as far as we know, Sal is not guilty for this crime or disappearance or whatever. And
What's this class? Just hanging out? Yeah, we're just doing like a recording for our podcast. Oh, she's the best. I'm just gonna write her a farewell.
okay.
Don't mind me.
And yeah, so personally, I think she's just very invested in this, and maybe she does like go to the extremes, like catfishing Chloe, or like catfishing Emma as Chloe.
Yeah. No, that was
Emma as
insane.
Chloe.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was so weird.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, bro, she just like me.
Yeah,
She's
Something I
stop,
would
Jasmine.
do. It's literally something I would do.
yeah, like she would just go to the extremes about this and like breaking into Andy's Andy's
Yes,
house to
freaking
find the
Yes, that was
burner phone, like
Following
Yeah.
Harry at night.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just so dangerous. Like, she puts herself in such dangerous situations. What, for a school project?
But,
yeah,
if she
I personally
doesn't
would never do
it,
that.
She doesn't do it with.
Yeah, but
That's
then
the
I
thing.
mean, I guess we wouldn't have a book if she didn't go this
Exactly.
far into it. But still, like, she's really invested. Like, she really wants to figure out this like mystery, I guess. But still, I feel like it's just kind of.
I think it started
crazy
off
lengths.
as maybe just like proving he's innocent, but now she like wants to find who killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
like
she's, like, a
that's like
motive.
a whole different other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's at one point in the case where like they were following Howie, the drug dealer or whatever his name, and they saw that the letters on Sal's phone was Howie's license plate.
Yeah.
And Pip says like, oh, like Sal didn't kill Andy, he was just trying to hide her steps of like, drug dealing or whatever. So that made them realize that like, oh, like Sal didn't kill Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when they reenacted the whole like, what would they do if they were Sal, killing Andy? Like how they started off where he started, walked, quote unquote, did what Sal did to Andy, all that stuff. Every step, every walk, they did it, and they put the time frame as 45 minutes, and they ended up taking that time for like 48, I think it was 48 minutes.
Yeah.
So like if they killed so quick, let's say they killed in 30 seconds there,
Yeah.
and it doesn't take 30 seconds to like pull a whole body, not that I know.
Yeah.
Pull a
I don't
whole
know, Jasmine.
body.
How do
Don't
you know?
do it.
How do you know, Jasmine?
Pull a whole body out, like there's like you can see in movies that it doesn't
Yeah.
take them 30 minutes and they're acting. Like imagine if their body's like full on like dragging, because like in movies,
Yeah.
of course they're gonna like try to help to drag,
Yeah.
but like you can't if they're actually dead.
It's just not. It's just it's a tight frame that like
Yeah.
murder can't happen in that frame.
And be hidden, and everything that happened, everything that was found and stuff. So like, it's not making sense. It didn't click.
Nope,
Yeah.
it did not.
But when I found out that like Andy was like a drug dealer, I was so
Oh my
shocked.
God.
Yeah, I was so surprised.
I was shocked, but at the same time, like everything that her friends were saying about her and how she was just an on and off person, and she was just a very like that friendship is just very destructive. Yeah.
Destructive.
Yeah, or like
Yeah,
toxic.
or toxic. Like it makes sense.
It does.
It makes sense that she was that way, because of course she couldn't just go out to her friends and be like, hey, so like I'm selling drugs. Like she can't
Yeah.
do that. So of course there was some like barrier that was like going over them, and like she had control of them. You
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
And the thing is, like, I just want to know why. And also, like, I think it was Max who said it, that, like, she just liked the power.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know who it was, but, yeah, no, I think it was Max. That she just kind of, like, enjoyed the power of, like, getting, like, selling drugs. Like, I just wonder why. I don't know, her parents had money. I think her sister says she never really got any type of allowance. But, like, if her parents are rich, if she asks for something, they're going to get it for her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like, why? Like, why? And she's the one who initiated the, like, contact with this drug dealer. Like, oh, I'll get you in with, like, the high school crowd and, like, the teenager crowd to, like, sell these drugs to
Do you
people.
think
Maybe
she
she
would
liked
do
the
drugs?
attention.
You think she would do drugs?
I don't know, because everyone said that she didn't really. And she just did it just because she liked the power of, like, selling
Mhm.
drugs.
Like
Like,
the
I just,
attention.
yeah, like, I don't really know why. Like, it's not like she, like, desperately needed the money or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what was that money going toward? And you know how she said she always was like buying stuff and going on shopping sprees, and they're like, where's this money coming from? I guess now we know where the money was coming from. And maybe it was just for clothes and to buy her own stuff. But, like, even if her parents, like, she asked for something, her parents probably give it to her. Like, they made a
Yeah.
lot of money. So I just don't really know why she felt like she needed to make all this extra money.
That's true. That's
Or she was like saving it for something, or maybe it was just because she wanted to go out and buy some stuff. But I don't know.
But if she wanted to buy stuff, she can literally ask her good loving daddy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her relationship with her dad wasn't that close
Yeah.
after she found out about the affair.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So it's
And they had
like
such a weird relationship. And, like, the things that, when they asked, like, Becca's old friend about how, like, the family treated her and stuff,
exactly.
like, the things he would say about the family was just so weird. And it's just like, you can't, like, talk to your kids like that or talk to your wife like
No,
that.
and
Like,
then
it's
of
like, you
course
can't.
she's gonna be scared to go up there and ask for money. Yes, her parents might have the money, like they would have gave it to her. But if she felt that way, like there's when someone has like a genuine like fear about of someone, like they're
Yeah.
not gonna go up to that person. And if she told her mom like, hey, like can I have some money? And the mom goes like, why don't you ask your dad? Then there's gonna be questions asked, and then you
Mhm.
know. So maybe she just
Yeah.
wanted to avoid all that and like find it out on her own. But like you said, maybe she just liked the enjoyment. Maybe
Yeah,
she just
she just
liked
liked
that
the
like
power.
adrenaline of like dealing, because it's literally like, oh, here, money here,
Yeah.
you know. So it's
Yeah,
like,
some people really are into, like, adrenaline rush of just,
yeah,
like, doing,
especially
like,
because she was
something
like
bad.
underage. So
Yeah.
like she could have gotten in trouble
Like
for
a
it.
whole, like, multiple levels of illegal
Exactly.
just for funsies.
Yeah, it's just
But
the whole situation is very weird with Andy and her family.
Yeah, like, the whole family dynamic is insane.
Yeah, and then like when you mentioned about like Jason like making comments about like their looks, like
Yeah.
what is why is looking a certain way is so important to Jason?
Yeah.
And like you
It's
don't
very, like,
just you don't,
shallow.
Yeah.
yeah, you just don't tell your wife, oh, you married me because of money. Like you just don't tell her that.
Yeah.
Like that's just messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what he was doing to his own daughters,
Yeah.
his daughters were doing to other people. Like for instance, this girl, what was her name again?
What?
Which one?
The one that Andy was bullying.
Oh,
Oh,
Nat.
Natalie,
Nat.
Nat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everything that her dad will like express to her, I guess she kind of like
Took
did
it
it
out.
back. So like
Yeah.
took it out on people that maybe just didn't deserve it. I mean,
Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, her father, like, really, like, like, affected them so much. But it's interesting how it affected them in almost, like, opposite ways.
yeah,
And even, I forget, someone said it, like, Andy got louder and then Becca got, like, quieter. And,
Mhm.
like, of course, like, it doesn't excuse, of course, like, because Andy, she was, like, a bully and she was mean. Even to her own friends, she was, like, not a good
Yeah.
person, too. Which, of course, it doesn't excuse her actions. And, like, just because you have, like, a bad home life doesn't excuse you from, like, being, like, a
Yeah.
horrible person. But you can kind of see, like, how that came about, how she was just, like, a bully. But then, like, on the other hand, Becca, who was just getting quiet and she really just, like, was super insecure. Even Andy, too, like, she would take so long getting out of the house and to make sure she looked, like, perfect.
exactly.
Because, like,
No.
her dad put so much pressure on her to be, like, this, like,
I
perfect.
just want to
like,
know
being.
what's so important about looking a certain way is to Jason. Like why
Yeah.
like he looks
Men.
like they
Men.
look like
Men.
you in a way
It's
because
just
you're the
men.
your father. So
Does
you're
it look
basically
like
just
you in a
hating on
way?
yourself.
Yeah, it's like when your parents, like, make fun of you for something, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, who gave me the jeans?
Exactly.
Who was it? Oh my god, my
Who
dad
did
will make fun
that?
of me like, oh my god, your hair is such a mess today. I'm like, okay, and who did I get the hair from, Dad? Who? Oh my god. One time I said my full name. Instead of saying Katie, I said Kathleen once, and he literally started laughing. Because I had to say, I forget, I had to give him my name for something or whatever. I said Kathleen, and he started laughing. And I was like, you're the one who named me. Like, don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a parent thing. But like when it's like a joking way, like
Yeah,
right?
you know.
Yeah.
But they were
But
like
for him,
full
like,
on
we
getting
were-
harassed.
That was not a
like,
joke. Yeah, that was
exactly.
insane. That was really weird.
That's just really messed up.
Maybe he just likes little girls.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have an affair with a younger
Yeah.
woman.
So he's like, when they actually
So
start
maybe,
looking like
yes.
women, he's like,
Perv.
oh, I don't like this anymore.
Or maybe it's just like, because of course, if you're having an affair, the girl's gonna be dressed up. She's gonna look nice. She's gonna look this. Of course, the wife that he has at home that's doing that cooking, that's cleaning for him and all that stuff is not gonna look all the time like dressed up and all
Yeah.
that stuff with makeup on, like the affair one that they meet for like what, maybe 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so of course he's is like used to just seeing that youngness, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
the wife's probably old.
Yeah, but like if he, I mean, I can't really say anything because I don't know about this, but like if he wants younger girls, then just go for it. It's kind of like who's that guy that plays as Jack in the Titanic? Now he's like obsessed with girls, and if they reach a certain age,
Leo
he's like done with
DiCaprio.
them.
Yeah, Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Like he loves younger girls, especially in their 20s, and then like if they go over, like if they
Yeah,
if
he's
they
over the age
turn
of
30,
24.
he's done with them.
He can't date them anymore. That's kind of funny.
He's just like a dump.
Yeah, he's like, no, too old for me.
Yes.
Yeah, next.
Yeah, next.
Next.
Let's go. Left.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But finding out the whole like Natalie thing, I was like, I mean, I wasn't real. I can't say I'm surprised that Andy
Yeah,
was like
I
a
wasn't
bully and that
surprised
she would
either.
do that to someone. But that must have really sucked. And even now, Natalie, but also like Natalie kind of blames everything wrong in her life on Andy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I didn't get it. Like, before she has all that pent up anger, which I mean, I'd be angry too if someone spread around like what,
Yeah,
like a
but
nude,
that was,
like
like,
topless video of
5
me.
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then like I guess she went to jail and she blamed it. She was like, she ruined my life, and like I'm in jail because like another girl, I guess she had like an argument with like a roommate she
Yeah.
used to have, and she was like, this is the same thing Andy would have done, so I punched her in the face or whatever. I'm like, okay, well,
She's
I
the one
mean,
that left the
Acting
death
like
threat.
Andy
Yeah.
what is it?
Hmm?
Reconnoited?
recurring,
No.
Rekindled?
No. When they like die, but then they come back to life and like someone
Possessed?
else. No.
Like haunting?
Haunting?
No.
Oh my God.
Reincarnated.
oh, reincarnated.
Yes. Like,
Oh my
that's the shit
God.
that happened to the prison one, and that's what she beat her up, you know?
Oh my god, yeah.
You
That
can't
was-
blame your actions on people that are not even
Yeah.
alive anymore. Like,
Yeah, like I
grow
understand
up.
it, but
You're
she
old.
really just like is blaming all her
Like if
life's
it's at
issues on
if
this
it's
girl.
if it's at the moment, that's fine. But like it's 5 years after she died. She died.
yeah.
So I just feel
Yeah.
like
And honestly, like I know, like it's like, oh, maybe she did it because she's seeming so angry, and she even left like a death threat in her locker. But like
Yeah.
honestly, I know it seems obvious, like oh, she could have done it, but I don't think she did, because if she did, she wouldn't be so open about how much she hates her. And she's like, oh, I would have killed her first or something. And she said like it was like fate, or she was like thanking the person almost like who killed her or whatever. So it's like, if she really did kill her, she wouldn't be so open about it.
plus it's always the person that you don't suspect.
Yeah, and
It
like she'd
really
be
is.
she'd be trying to hide it. She'd be like, no, like yeah, she did that to me, but you know, no bad blood, like whatever. It's a couple of years ago. Like if she did it, she would not be acting like that. She wouldn't be like, yeah, like I could kill her, like I hated her so much,
Yeah.
because obviously like, that would get her caught like in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So like I don't
Yeah,
think she
I don't
did
think
it.
it's her.
No,
But
yeah.
her brother is a very suspicious.
He was suspicious.
Yeah, we haven't even like
But
met
I feel
him
like,
yet, but
we
still.
haven't had enough details. Also, like
It's just
Mr.
stories.
Ward or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I get bad blood from him. Like, I can like
Really?
sense it when I'm like reading. I can like sense like that he's just
Like bad vibes.
like just bad vibes. Like
I don't
Speaking
know.
of lions, Max is a liar. He's a
I
pathological
don't like
liar.
him.
I don't like him
really
either.
don't like him at all. Like I got a bad vibe from him like right away, and I just
Yeah.
He
don't
was
really
so
like him.
chill.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing with Mr. Ward over here, because when Emma told Pip about the whole like what's it called? Andy calling him an a-hole.
Yeah.
Then what's it called? He never told Pip that. So why didn't
Yeah.
he tell Pip? So then that's
don't
when
know.
Pip goes and talks to him again. Because Pip's always just annoying everyone.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
his-
She is.
She really is.
She's really, these people are sick of her already.
Yeah, no, bro.
And so, like, was he lying?
I don't know. I don't
Was
know. I don't
he
really
the
get.
older guy though?
Yeah, I don't know.
That Andy was
I
messing
thought
around
that
with?
at first, but then when she went and talked to him, I kind of understood because I guess he didn't want to say anything bad.
Yeah.
And he
just
didn't think
because
it'd be,
she's
like-
always there. And
Yeah,
stuff,
and like he didn't really think it'd be like helpful to the case or whatever. Like I kind of get it. Like I don't know. I don't really get that much of a bad vibe from him. Like I don't know. Maybe you'll be right, but I just didn't like Max at all from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
yeah,
believe
because he lied since the first interview.
Yes, like and every time like she speaks to him, like he lies. Like
yeah.
every
There's
single
always
time she's
something
spoken
coming
to
up.
him, he's lied about something.
And that picture that he had of Andy was so
Yes.
disgusting.
First of all, why like
Printed out
Printed
too.
out,
Like who
like-
prints out a photo? What is
Like,
it? The
I-
1800s?
like I guess like if you have it on your phone, like what can I do? You know, you can't delete it. You can't go into someone's phone and be
Yeah.
like delete it, you know, and stuff like that. Or he's not gonna out and open have it as a lock screen or something, of
Yeah.
course. But since Pip is nosy and Pip is annoying, she found that picture and then
Yeah.
what? Like that opened the whole little can of Max.
Yeah.
Like
Like
what?
Max worms.
yeah.
Literally.
I did not believe for not 1 second that he just found it in a classroom. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? Someone?
And why didn't he turn it in when he found it?
Yeah.
Yeah, or like if he really knew. I mean, I know he
Maybe
said he
was
didn't know Andy
secretly
well, but
like crushing on her though.
That's
Yeah.
They did
weird.
say
Crushing
that-
on a dead woman.
No, not dead. She wasn't dead at the time when he
Yeah.
found the
but
picture.
then like, why would you keep it? Like, it's 5
It
years
was
later and he
Sal's
still has it.
girlfriend, and Sal was best friends with Max.
Exactly.
So maybe he was falling for Andy.
Yeah.
Andy was pretty, and she seems like the very like outgoing, flirty type of thing, and she was dealing drugs with him.
Yeah.
So of course, like there probably was a little
Yeah,
feelings
I feel
going
like
on,
there
or
probably
maybe
was
they
something
did
there.
mess around. Andy was not the
I
best
feel like they
loyal
did.
girlfriend ever. Like
Yeah.
you know, you never know.
And if you really found that photo like in a random classroom, even if I found that, I would be like, I don't know what I would do honestly, but I'd probably like rip it up or something, or like
Yeah.
tell the person like, hey, I found a random like explicit picture of you and at school. Like, well, I do not believe that for 1 second. Oh, you just found it. No, you did not. Like, that's such a lie. And why would you keep it? You have a printed out photo of someone.
Up on
like,
a bulletin board as well. Like,
Yeah,
no.
it gives you like the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Like that is so gross.
That no. When you say like bulletin board, I always think of the Grey's episode of like Dr. Bailey finding like Meredith's, you know.
Oh,
Who had the
underwear.
underwear on the bulletin board
Yeah,
in Grey's
that was so
Anatomy.
funny, yeah. And then like Hallie took them off.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, that was mine."
Mm.
Oh, she's so real for that. Honestly,
Yeah,
I love
she
Callie.
was really-
Callie got too much hate. I love her.
Yeah, I mean she was hateful at the beginning. It's just like April. She
Sorry,
was
I'm like
hateful,
sipping my
but,
water
like,
really loud over here.
I love April now. Like,
I don't
for
know.
some
I feel
reason.
like I hate Bailey right now. But why are we talking about Grace? This is not about the Grace.
Sorry.
Let's get connecting.
Yeah, no one
Let's
connects.
connecting.
I mean, no one's ever been murdered in Grey's Anatomy. Actually, probably.
Anyways,
Anyways. Yeah. But when I can't believe she was like, I'm gonna break into Annie's house. I was like, you're lying right now. Like, are you serious?
Right.
Like,
and then
oh,
she
yeah,
brought
no, I'm
Ravi
actually just
into
gonna
this.
with
break
Bro,
in.
Ravi told her that he was gonna go though, because she literally asked him. She was like, "Hey, like you don't have to go. You don't have to like do anything." But he's the one who reached out to Pip and said, like, "Yes, I want in." So
Yeah.
that's him. Like he's putting himself in this situation.
Yeah.
True.
But when you heard when they heard like the door like open or something and they heard like
Yeah.
Becca come back in the house, my heart literally stopped. Like I felt like I was watching a movie, even though I was reading. But I was like, oh my god, like I was like,
You can
no
actually like
way.
visualize it when you read it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, and I would literally like my heart stopped. I wanted to stop reading. I was like, I can't do this. Like I caught like when we get like secondhand embarrassment, like I can't do it. And then they left, and I was like, oh okay, well I guess they're good. And then I thought she was gonna get caught because they left the door open, and of course they probably leave the door closed all the time. because
Mhm.
when they got there, the door was closed. Unless like if you lost a
Well,
daughter,
maybe
like
they thought the cat opened it.
yeah, like how would a cat open the door? He would just reach his paw up and like twist the door open.
Some cats open the doors by themselves.
That's
My
true.
dog
And
knows
they
how to
jumped
open
on
her
top of it?
doors.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe like
I'll just be in the bathroom and boom, the door's open, and with my dog just sitting there. I'm like, really?
maybe Becca just didn't really think much into it.
Yeah,
Since
she was
it's
like, oh, alright, whatever.
Andy's room, you know.
Yeah, there's no one home.
So
Mhm.
it's not like
It's a ghost.
it was not
And like they didn't
you
find
know,
a burner phone there, so like
what
Yeah, so
happened
it's like,
to
what happened to
it.
it? Unless she took
Yeah.
it with her.
No, because then no, whoever killed her would have not left the burner phone there and planted it on Sal because it was a burner phone.
But if the person that killed Andy and knew where this burner phone is, then this person would have to break into Andy's home and take the burner phone out.
Yeah.
So it's like it's someone very, very close to Andy.
Well, maybe Becca took the phone. Maybe she, because I mean, they're sisters. They probably know each other pretty well. Even if I think they used, I mean, maybe they used to be close or they weren't anymore or whatever.
They
But, I mean,
used to
it's
be,
her
but then they
house.
had an argument or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's her house. She probably maybe realized about the loose floorboard, even if Andy thought that nobody knew. She could have gone in there. Maybe she was just curious, like, oh, her sister died or went missing maybe a year later or like months later or whatever. She went through and she was like going through her room and stuff, maybe. Maybe she like found the loose floorboard and she's like, oh, what's this?
But
And
why
like,
would she
looked through
hide it and not turn it in as evidence?
Yeah, true. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Whoever took it either knew or maybe she took it and they just got rid of it. Like
Yeah.
it's a burner
But
phone, you can't
but
track
personally, if any of my siblings went like missing or something like that, and I go through their room for some weird reason, I don't know why I would, and I find like a burner phone, I would turn that straight to the police.
Yeah.
Because I would still have hope for them to find my sibling after finding this evidence. So I feel like why would Becca like either like keep it to herself or like throw it out without like having the hope to find her sister.
it. Yeah, so
Unless she was like involved in some way.
or
Unless if she's
maybe-
jealous.
Or maybe what's it called? Becca didn't find it. Maybe she didn't take it. Maybe someone else took it.
Yeah.
Someone else found it. I mean, they were doing what, like funerals or whatever they did, memorials and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyone could have came into the house.
Yeah,
There was
that's true.
probably a lot of people there too.
Yeah.
True.
Not everyone's looking at everyone, so it could have been anyone who knew though.
Yeah, if
who
there was like
knew
a
that there
wake
was
or
phone.
something that they held at the house, anyone could have just like slipped in.
Exactly,
You know?
and like who
Andy was
knew?
pretty popular, and like family, cousins. Like if it's at the house, like literally anyone they probably left the door open. Like anyone probably could have slipped in, took it, and left. I don't know, unless maybe Becca was involved in some way. Maybe it's her sister, so it's kind of like a hard like
Yeah.
thing, you know. But she could have been involved. You never know. Could be a little plot twist.
I mean, did Becca say that like she's jealous of her sister?
Yeah.
Because like Andy is so beautiful and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. So maybe it's jealousy.
Yeah, and now she's dating that like a-hole like
Stanley
reporter.
Forbes. Ugh.
Yeah, I was
The
surprised
racist
that I
journal.
was like, what? Plus, when I view Becca, I guess when they talk about her as like Andy's little sister, I view her as being younger. And with
Mhm.
Stanley Forbes, he's like the journalist, so I view him as being older. So I was like surprised. I was like, what? But then I realized that Becca's actually like
Yeah.
probably in her 20s, and so
Yeah.
is Stanley. But still, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah,
Like,
and then like when Stanley met up with the drug dealer.
yeah, what was that about? Like, what was he was paying him off or something? Because he didn't even take drugs from him.
Maybe he was paying off for Stanley to write that article.
Maybe.
But that was 5 years ago, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why are you paying 5 years later?
Yeah, but like, why is a journalist giving money to a drug dealer?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe Howie knew a secret.
Like, you would think it was
About him.
like,
Or maybe he's writing an article about Howie and he's paying Howie to get secrets out. Because because like if they're having like an interview about whatever, and then Howie's like, I'll tell you everything, and just give me $1,000 and I'll tell you everything.
yeah.
But personally, I would do like 10,000, but that's just me.
But he seemed angry, and he was like, "This is all I have," or whatever. But then it's like you wouldn't be paying him off to keep like a secret or something. You would think it'd be the other way around, like someone paying a journalist to not say anything and not put out a story. And like even if like Howie spoke about something, maybe about him, and he had a secret or something, like who's gonna believe some random like drug dealer? You know, they're gonna be like, oh, let's go, all go believe him. You know, so it's like I want to know what's going on over there. Like I want to know, why are they arguing? Like what's the
Yeah.
deal?
It's very off and strange. But so part 2 ends with this weird thing where so Pip goes to her friend's house, and Max and Naomi were staying there for like studying or whatever. And I guess this is during I can't speak. I guess this is during the time where Pip finds out that like Max, Naomi, and other people like they lied to the police.
Yeah, that was crazy. When I saw that when she was going through the Facebook photos, and then she was like, "Hold on, like there's no one taking the picture, and they're all in the
Yeah.
photo." And then she sees like Sal literally in the reflection and Naomi's phone that says like midnight. Like, and at first it was suspicious at first when she said they all posted at the same time, like whatever, like the Facebook photos they all posted at the same time, which is like so random. And then also they left the timestamp in there and everything. I was so shocked. I was like, then I was like, why would the friend lie?
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that Sal never lied, and it's like, oh, like,
And that's when it like basically just proves that he was innocent.
yeah.
He did not. in
Even
fact.
then, like
He did
even
not kill his
before,
girlfriend.
So then that's when Pip. That's what drove Pip to like question that question. When
Yeah.
she came up with that question of who killed Andy and who killed Sal. Like
Yeah.
who killed both of them? Was it the same killer? What's going on? Like that's what's driving her now. It's not even driving to prove if Sal's innocent anymore because she did that already. Like it's done. Like she did that.
Yeah.
So now she just wants to find the killer, which was not in her capstone project. If we go
Yeah.
to the front and we see like of the book and it says she's just doing the capstone to prove someone innocent, like that's all.
Yeah.
Her capstone's technically already done. You know?
And now I feel like I suspect Naomi a lot less now, because I feel like, and you know, even before when it was like she had some unaccounted time when she was upstairs when Max was like, oh, she was MIA, like I don't know where she went, and she was just upstairs with Sal because Sal ended up being there the entire time.
Yeah.
So now I
Yeah.
feel like if she never like slipped out, went to go kill Andy, like I mean, still a little suspicious, like the things she said about Andy. But honestly, now I'm like, there's no way she could have been a part of it if she was there the whole night and she slept over. Like it's impossible
The
that she
only
could have been
one
a part of it.
who we thought is Max.
Yeah.
Because the Max's story was the one that we were like, oh, you know, like maybe Max is saying the truth, but he was drunk, so
Yeah.
that really doesn't really count.
But now I'm like, I don't know. And the whole thing where she was questioning and she was really pressuring Max and Naomi, and they were like, oh my God, we have to tell her. I was like, oh my God, what
Yeah.
is it? And they
Yeah.
found
I
out
thought they were gonna
the whole,
confess
like,
that, like,
yeah,
they
me
killed her.
too. Yeah, I
Me
was like, oh my
too.
God. But then there's so much of the book left, and I was like, what's going on?
There was like, there's no way. But then, and then they said about like this, what is it called? They got
Class.
this weird text message on, like saying that like you have to lie to the police, saying that Sal left at whatever time, I don't know, 10:30, right? 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he never did because apparently they all got into an accident and killed an innocent man
Yeah. Or I don't think
driving
he died. I
drunk
think now
on New
he's
Year's
like a
Eve.
paraplegic or something.
Yeah. He's
Just like, who would know? Like, the only people who would know
it
is
was
either
4 a.m.
the
too.
guy
Mhm.
who like is now paraplegic or whatever.
And first of all, the guy was literally just left there to like die, I guess. Not
Yeah.
really die, but left there just to whatever was gonna happen to him,
Yeah.
you know?
But yeah, I mean,
he
basically for
couldn't
dead, because they
see
said that they thought he was dead.
unless
So they
it
just
was
left.
one of them in there that's like told someone and then that person, you know?
Yeah, but it's like the only people who could have done it, or the only people who could have known, was the people in that car, and everyone in that car was there in the party that night and slept over. So it just doesn't really make any sort of sense.
But who was exactly in the car though?
It was Jake, Millie, Naomi, and Max.
Just the 4 of
I
them?
think it was just the 4 of them. Sal did not go to that party apparently.
Yeah, And then didn't all those people sleep over? Except Jake. Did Jake sleep over? I don't know.
I'm
I guess
not
we
sure.
should go back.
I think all of them did, to be honest.
Yeah, but then it's like, how would you find out? Unless
How would
someone
they
told them.
know?
But why? I feel like that's a secret you take to your grave.
Maybe Max was on drugs because he was taking some pretty hardcore
Yeah, that's
drugs
true. He
and
could've
just
just, like,
kind of
admitted it.
They all were
it
drunk.
out.
They are all like
You could
under
just slipped it out.
influence.
Maybe they called someone and like confessed, and that person just started blackmail. Maybe they were talking about it and someone overheard. Literally, any type of thing could have happened to be
Yeah.
found out. It's just a matter of fact, a matter of time for it to come out already. But
Yeah. But it's just crazy how now the person who found out about this thing also is in on like the murder of Sal or like
yeah,
Andy or whoever. Like that's
yeah,
just now
because
a
he
big
kind of
thing.
wanted there to be no alibi.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to literally like cut any ties that connects to Sal and Andy. Like he just didn't want to be found, or she didn't want to be found. Whoever killed
And
them.
now I feel like it's the same person that also sent a text to Andy, like that whole anonymous text. Because now, of course, this person loves to send anonymous texts because they sent an anonymous text to this group of friends, and now they sent an anonymous text to Andy. Not Andy. I can't even speak. Pip.
I said
Jeez,
Andy.
so
I
many
was like,
characters.
is she coming
No,
back?
no. And Pip. So of course this person loves some anonymous messaging. And then also now it's like the whole thing with the note. So clearly they're still around. They still stuck around after this whole situation. If they came and like followed Pip and like they know that she's investigating this. But who the only people who really know how much like she knows, like how far she's gotten in the project is people she's interviewed.
Yeah.
Unless someone that she interviewed like is talking to somebody else. But now I feel like the killer is someone we know already. Like I feel like it's a character that we've met
Mm-hmm.
because
There's definitely no one new coming in.
Yeah.
Not this deep into the book already.
yeah, because like I mean, the only people who know how far she's gotten is the people she's interviewing.
Yeah.
So it's like unless someone blabbed, but it's like I don't know, no one really knows that much information. So it's like
And low key, Pip is irrelevant. She's not really, all that. And that's why a lot of people are like hesitant to talk to her.
Because she
she's not a
doesn't really
familiar
play
face.
a role in Andy's life.
She never
Yeah.
did, So then people are asking, like, why are you trying to figure out, like, Andy, why are you trying to figure out or prove Sal innocent?
Yeah.
Try to prove that killers, So that's what some people, because half of the people she interviewed, half of his friends, even his friends, thought, like,
It was
he did
weird.
it.
Yeah.
So, like, come on.
I mean, like, if she had a role in Andy's life or Sal's life, that's understandable. But, like, she doesn't really know who they are. Like, yeah, maybe
Well,
she
she
sees them
kinda
in
did.
school or whatever. But, like,
I mean, she kind of did because even in the beginning of the book, she said that. I mean, because since Naomi and Sal were best friends, and she was best friends with Naomi's little sister, she was always at the house, and like Sal was also at the house a lot. And she said that she knew Sal and that she'd spoken to him before, and that she knew him when she was younger and things like that. So it's like she did kind of know him. So it's like I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but, like, I just want to know, like, what drove her to do this. Like, yeah, she wants to prove that Sal's innocent, but, like, I feel like there's a furthermore, like, I think there's a deeper thing than just, like, proving that Sal's
Maybe
innocent.
she was just like interested in it. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
And now she's like obsessed with. Yeah, she's friends with Robbie. They're
She
definitely getting
is.
together because like they definitely like each other. Like I feel it. I feel the vibes.
Tension.
Yeah, no.
It's a murder case with the love story.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of a mix.
they
for
just
all the
like
people.
snuck that little romance into there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel
Yeah.
like they're definitely gonna get together or something.
I feel like they are, but, like, at the same time, I don't know. I feel like Pip is more focused on, like, this case.
No.
But I think she's kind of falling for him, but she
She
doesn't even
is.
realize.
It's like it's gonna be that type of thing where it's like she fell first, he fell harder type thing. Because like after they ran and stuff like that, that little interaction that they had, like
Plus, with the, like,
You
the
know.
dog walking in the first part.
exactly,
Yeah.
and her always driving him, and he's always protecting her.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it makes sense.
Even she said things like, oh, like, why am I nervous or something? Or, like, she
Yeah.
laughed. She was like, why am I even laughing? That wasn't even funny. Like, she doesn't even realize. She can't even, like,
Yeah.
put together the fact that she, like, is in love with him.
Maybe not in love.
Well, yeah,
Or
but, you know, I'm a
casually.
little dramatic, but you know what I mean?
I mean, it makes sense why Pip's doing this, but at the same time, she's going pretty deep in there.
Yeah.
She is going pretty deep in there.
But I think it's for the better that she is, because now that like
No one else is gonna do it.
now that Sal's name is gonna get cleared,
Yeah.
and their entire family is gonna get like closure or justice in a way
Yeah.
that like they know that their son is not a monster and that their son is not the one that killed Andy.
Yeah. I mean, even the whole, like, racism, like, aspect of it. Like, a lot of people think, I mean, also the police said it, but a lot of people think, you know, like, oh, like, him because of his race and, like, this, like, race of people, like, this is how they act. Even, like, what the journalist said, it was just so, like, horrible. So now it's like they get their name cleared, and now it's not an excuse for people to be just, like, openly racist or whatever.
Which is
And it's, like,
ridiculous.
yeah, and, like, this poor family who's now, like, almost has to, like, be in hiding just because, like, they think their son did this without anybody really knows. Like, we really went deep into the investigation.
But we do know
So-
that his son didn't do it. Their son
Yeah.
didn't do it.
But now it's just more complicated because now Pip doesn't want to go tell on Naomi and Max or whatever. I mean, she doesn't really care about Max, but it's more for Naomi
Yeah.
and Kara, her, like, best friend. It's like now she has to figure out, like, who did it.
Who did it?
Because, like, and like, because that's the only other way. Because now if she takes this to the police, I mean, she can't really do anything because police are going to be like, no, you're not a part of this investigation anymore. You already done enough.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, how is she supposed to figure? Now she has to figure out who did it, because she can't go and be like, oh, this is why. I know he's innocent for a fact because of this. And then now the friends are going to have to admit that they lied and why they lied.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so should we wrap up?
Yeah.
Okay, so this concludes our discussion, whatever. And we're getting to the very juicy part of the book. Like, it's to the point where I literally cannot put the book down. I'm like trying to fight myself
Yeah.
not to continue reading. But should we end off with like a question? Like, who's the one that's sending all these like messages and notes?
Yeah. Is it the same person? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, is it multiple people in, like, was it just one person who killed Andy and Sal, or was it more involved? Like,
Yeah.
There's just so many questions.
how did that?
I honestly have
you
no
know?
idea. Like, I feel like before I had my suspects, but now I feel like I really just don't know, like, at all.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was multiple people, maybe this is like a
Because
multiple person job,
there's,
but
like,
I honestly don't know.
There was fingerprints all over Andy's car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who moved it? And how is it that no fingerprints of any other
Yeah.
person was there, but just the people that drove it before?
Yeah. Or, you know, I know a lot of people suspect Jason, and I feel like that's such a big suspect because even now he's saying he was nervous for his police thing because
Yeah.
he left. He drove drunk, of course. He left, like, in the middle of the meetings. Now it's like, did he go to, like, kill Andy or whatever? But I feel like that's
Did he find her with the older guy?
Yeah, I feel
And
like that's
just,
a
like-
too
I feel like
obvious
Max is
choice.
because he is technically 2 years older. But like when I
Yeah.
think of an older guy, I always think of like a sugar daddy, like 40s, 50s.
Yeah, like, I feel like she wouldn't say secret older guy because they're literally in the same grade. So, I mean, how technically he is older, but, you know. So, I don't know. I honestly really don't know. I think it's someone we already know,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like Jason Bell, maybe it's the too obvious choice, but maybe, you know, maybe it really is him.
We're just gonna
But
have to find
I
out
don't
in the
know.
next
Guess
part.
We'll find out, yeah.
Oh, that's the last part already, and then we're gonna know
Yeah, we're almost done.
who's the person. I
And
think
what the verdict
it's
is.
yeah, and what was the reason, all that stuff. That's what we're
What
gonna
was the
find
reason?
out.
Yeah, we'll finally figure out who did this and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
listening, y'all.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.